Welcome to another episode of the Pencil Pushers Project. If this is your first time listening to our podcast, this is a podcast where we primarily discuss music, but we also delve into entertainment, TV, movies, sports, current events, so on and so forth. I am one of your hosts, Jay, and I am joined by my co-host and brother, not blood, but, you know, still the brother all the same, Zay.
What's up, man?
I know. I tried to figure that out.
That's okay.
How are you, brother?
I'm good, man. I just got out of the gym. I didn't shower. Oh, strip.
There we go.
I got out of the gym. I didn't shower. You had to get straight to it, but I'm doing good. I'm actually doing good today. How about you?
I, too, am doing well. It's a nice day outside.
I know you put on your khaki shorts.
I just put on shorts, man. I'm just trying to just be more free and more. I'm embracing outside more. You know, I usually wear like gym clothes all the time. Mm-hmm. So like, but since we've been quarantined and then unquarantined, I'm trying to just enjoy life a little bit more.
I looked in my closet and I realized I don't have any shorts. Like I just got like basketball shorts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I said, damn, I got to step up.
You know what's terrible? Me living in Florida or me growing up in Florida, and I moved here and for some reason I just like stopped buying shorts. I was just like, why? Why'd I do that? But yeah. I got a few, but man, just trying to be comfortable, trying to, just be relaxed. But it seemed like a lot happened, but then a lot didn't happen. We gonna get into Tenet talk coming later in the show, but
I had a question.
Go ahead.
That I wanted to ask you. I asked you this I think I asked last week, but I decided to save it.
Oh, I already forgot.
But okay, that's good. You ever hit on the girl and then completely like ruined it in like one word or one sentence, and you knew you fucked up and you wasn't getting the number, or if you got the number, she wasn't hitting you?
I'm sure I have. I can't say I am the smoothest talker to women. I'm kind of blunt, so.
You got a story? Do you remember one specific moment?
Well, it wasn't like. It was probably. I'm gonna go back to like high school, but the way it was set up is like how girls like when they, when they be interested in you, they be trying to talk to you. I was really like, quiet.
Okay.
So. One of the girls on the bus, and I know high school doesn't really count, but for the sake of this conversation, we'll just go with it. Mm-hmm. But she was like, "How come you so quiet?" And she was like, she was cute. She was really, real attractive. And I was like, "I don't like talking to people." and I, which is the truth at the time, but I wasn't trying to say it like that. But it was already out, so she was like, "Oh." she stormed off, and I was like, "Wait!" In my head, I was like, "No." but I'll talk to you though. But it was the moment that passed, and she had already like dipped out. But the first time, sometimes the first thought of my brain it just be falling out.
Right.
I just I've gotten a little bit better with it now. I have a little bit more tact, but I straight off the top, man.
Right.
What about you?
When I first got out the Navy, I think this was like a month out, right? Mm-hmm. I was in Walmart, and there was this girl there, so I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go talk to her." So I walk up to her, I was like, "Hey, what's up? Da da da. What's your name?" We start talking, this and the third, and then somehow we ended up on jobs. So, I'm fresh out the Navy. Mm-hmm. She says, "Oh yeah, I'm a computer engineer." Da da da. I said, "Oh, that's what's up." I was like, "Yeah, I don't really got a job right now. I'm just a student." And she looked at me like, "Wait,
I'm broke."
And what was funny was I didn't think anything of it. And then I walked away. I was like, "Wait, did I tell her I ain't got a job?" She gave me her number, and I texted her the next day. I ain't get nothing. I'm like, "Oh fuck!" It's because I said I ain't got a job.
You remember when, like the MySpace era, which was basically just another dating site. I don't care what people say, but like when girls be having like their profile pictures, it'd be like they height, they bra size for some reason.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, if you a man talking to me, you need to have a job, you need to have a car,
Yeah.
So then you hit her with the no job.
I did. I smacked her with the no job. I didn't think anything.
Hey, fuck that you served our country. You broke bum. Look at you being a veteran, nigga.
Oh man. So yeah, that was my one moment.
Cold game, man. You come serve your country, give your life for a few years, come back home, try to be reacclimated to society.
Yeah.
And just
it's crazy because you know, in the military you kind of get used to people just kind of being honest with you about things. So then that honesty comes out at you with the wrong moments in civilian life. That happens to me a lot, actually. But,
well, I've been told it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So even at 34, I'm still, I guess, figuring that out.
Oh no.
But the problem is, as I'm getting older, I don't really care as much.
You don't care.
So it's like, yo, look, it's said now, so deal with it.
Exactly.
So,
but anyway,
you ready to dive into this thing?
Yeah.
All right. So,
where you want to start?
We could just talk about Kendrick, and there was some behind the scenes video footage. Apparently, he's shooting a video. No one knows what for. Hopefully, it's for new music. This is going on 3+ years since Damn came out. And what I will say is, if this is music for his damn company, I'm gonna fucking scream.
Shooting a commercial for PG Lane?
Yeah, I'm
gonna lose my damn mind.
Listen, man, we gotta hit him with we in the pandemic, man. We need music. You out here doing music for your own shit.
Man, nah, for real talk, like, I know Kendrick is like for the betterment of society, but he's not helping us right now.
I mean, especially like now that it's out that you shooting music videos.
Especially when all the other top rappers are dropping. You got Drake dropping. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cole dropping. Where are you?
Yeah. And like I said, your time, you've picked up enough of what's going on in 2020. It's like, okay, I see the energy. Now let me go ahead and bless him with some music.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, this is like prime time Kendrick moment.
All the shit that's going on, this is like Kendrick is like he can have a field day. He got the content.
For sure.
It's like a scientist, like, bro, you got all the data that you need. Just get in the lab. Get in the lab. So there's not much more we have on that. I just thought it was
it's not too much you can really dive into.
Kendrick, who's not very visual, and he's usually in hiding. So when he comes out of hiding, it does pique interest. So definitely be tuned in for hopefully some new music coming.
At least he gave us a Nike poem.
Oh yeah, he was on the Nike Kobe commercial. Yeah, that's.
But he signed to them, so I don't count.
But even that, you can't do Nike and then do PG Lane and then forget about the people. So, 2021, you think we getting something? You think we getting the Kendrick album?
Yeah, I do. I think.
What you thinking, summer?
Damn, you ain't got no hope.
I'm just asking. I
mean, being real.
I don't have an idea.
I think we're gonna have it before the end of the year. But I don't think it'll be before October.
Okay.
What about you?
Thinking summer of next year.
Oof, that'll be 4 years. That better be one of the best albums of all time at that point.
Well, if everyone has like gotten over everything, and he tried to come back with some pandemic shit. Hey, nigga, we survived that already. You late,
nigga. We made it already.
Yeah, we don't need you. Keep
that would be some wild shit.
Keep your bullshit, man. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just being a little conservative. You
being realistic.
I just don't want to get my hopes up. So if I say summer, then I'll know. Because if I fuck around and say January and it ain't here January, then
I mean, I gave up on waiting. I'm at this one. I'm just like, whenever it comes out, it comes out.
Yeah, I mean that's where I'm at too. I just was, I guess, just kind of gauging in my
How
brain.
Big Sean come back before him?
Well, Ben Shog, what was his last? He had 3 years too, didn't he?
He took 3 years. I decided came out 3 years ago. Yeah,
and the difference with Big Sean, I think, is he was on his finding myself. Don't talk about it. Put it in music.
At least we knew what was going on.
Yeah,
we knew Big Sean was going through stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like this nigga Kendrick just living the life right now.
Kendrick is. I've said it numerous times. Kendrick is somewhere being a family man, and he's like, damn, it's crazy out there for y'all. Y'all be blessed.
Good luck.
Yeah. So, but we'll keep an eye out on it, and I don't have too much else to add on it, but I did think it was just interesting. You know, his name doesn't come up too much unless he's starting a company or hopefully doing music.
For sure.
So, excuse me. I did, since we are talking about music, I came across an article, and it was talking about independent music venues and basically how, and as we already know, the COVID situation and everything being shut down has had an effect on the economy in numerous ways. And of course, independent venues are in a lot of ways are seen as like smaller businesses, you know, as such as like same way as restaurants and so on and so forth. And you know, I read it and I didn't even think about the venues, because I know here we have in Atlanta we have Center Stage, we have a few other ones as well. But you know, Atlanta's a pretty big music scene, and a lot of artists, up and coming artists who don't necessarily fill out the bigger arenas, and they kind of rely on those smaller venues.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether it be newer artists or artists like, you know, on a mid-tier level. I think where did we see Griselda at?
We saw Griselda. Shit.
Tabernacle?
That wasn't the Tabernacle.
I mean, not. I can't remember what
it was. Shit. I don't remember. But we saw them at a smaller venue.
Yeah. That's basically what I was getting at.
I know it was right across the street from Georgia State.
So, you know, and we're in a land now where more artists have talked about different ways they're trying to earn income and going independent. For some of them, it's like, yo, this is probably a big part of that. That's going to hamper that for a lot of people.
Because you know the big arenas ain't shut down. They still got sports and all that. Like they ain't going nowhere.
Right. So like I'm not worried about football or basketball or baseball. Those are billionaire owners. They got a shit ton of money behind it. A shit ton of investors behind it. There's a lot of people who have a lot to lose in those arenas.
And and the thing is you know, most of those top tier artists, like everybody can't afford to go see a top tier artist, you know. So those smaller venues, and most people's favorite artists, honestly, are normally the smaller artists. So it's a bad situation.
Yeah, I think the only thing that could possibly save them is festivals, because you have outdoor venues and these artists will have to collaborate together to try to still make some money.
You think we're going to start seeing a thing where higher tier artists maybe start going back to smaller venues just to not even
to cut costs? Yeah. If anything else, it's less expensive.
Well, not only that, but I feel like it gives them a chance. This is more of a chance for them to get more creative with their stuff too. You could do a smaller, intimate show.
That's true. And I think the other part of that is those bigger artists were once smaller artists.
Exactly.
So they, you know, it may be just a full circle thing for them, and they can talk about how they started out that way. And
like MTV Unplugged, it could be something like that.
Yeah.
That could actually become a thing.
And I've seen some glimpses of it, like from some of these internet performances that they've been doing for some of these artists, where it's like it's no fans, so it is a little weird because you don't get that fan interaction.
Mm-hmm.
But the presentation is similar to like a smaller venue type of thing. Like there's bands and there's stages, but it's on a smaller level, referencing the black Live from the Ledge video concert that I saw last week. But I just, like I said, for me, I love going to the smaller venues, man. I mean, I've been to big arenas to watch shows, but
absolutely,
you know, like because a lot of the artists I like are not the bigger tier artists. Like I've seen, you know, whether it be Ab Soul, whether it be like a Mick Jenkins, Jay Electronica, you know, these dudes are not filling out big arenas, and you know, I'm not really a big fan of big arenas like that. And I know in certain cases, if I want to see a certain artist, then I have to do that. But I like the smaller arenas. I like to even seeing artists that I'm not familiar with. You know, artists that their opening acts and stuff like that. So it's a little bit discouraging because, like we said, it's not the same way as sports, where sports is not gonna. You don't have to worry about the NBA. You don't have to worry about the NFL. NFL cannot have a season this year, and they'll be all right.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? But these venues, and from what I understand, they have gotten together. A lot of them have gotten together, and they started a National Independent Venue Association. It's about 3,000 venues, and some of the bigger artists that are involved with it are Lady Gaga, Billy Joel, and they're actually like reaching out to Congress to try to, I know some of these venues have gotten like the PPP loans and stuff like that, but that's like a stopgap. That's not like something that's sustainable. So
yeah, I just read an article about not movie theaters, like actual theater production.
Yeah,
how these guys did a theater production in Massachusetts where they had to act the scenes, but they couldn't touch each other. There was a part, I think it was like some famous Jesus story or something. Mm-hmm. Like even the part where they baptized them. They did the baptize where they didn't touch them. They kind of just poured the water on the air, and they had to pretend like they were baptized, even though like they were this far between us.
Yeah.
And they actually had audience. They had an audience there, but there was a space between everybody. So I don't know.
Did it say how that was received? Did it say how that was?
It sold out. It's still selling out shows. I think the first show was 3 weeks ago, and every week it's been sellout shows. So,
I think people still need and they still enjoy and they need that stuff, man.
Yo, I think live entertainment is it's a industry. Everybody's worried about sports. Everybody's worried about that sports and the restaurants. And don't get me wrong, those are big, but the live entertainment industry is another. That's a big thing.
And to kind of pivot, or not pivot, but to kind of merge that with the conversations about, how do we, where's our outlet? We're bombarded with everything that's going on in the news right now. Mm-hmm. And it's like, even before all this stuff happened, like one of the great things about live music is that it was something that was just something like we talked about last week. You give me a live band, you give me, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That energy and that atmosphere is something that people enjoy.
You can't replicate that.
Exactly.
I think they will come up with a system, even if it is maybe people can't stand no more, or if you stand, you gotta be going to get a concession. You come back to your seat, and there's spaces in between. But
yeah,
I know something does have to happen because that's too big of an industry.
Yeah, and and it's not just the artists, and it's the people who work at these venues and things like that as well. So these are all the jobs that where I was. I didn't look too deep into it, but I was looking at some of the unemployment, and I think there's 3 million of those jobs have turned into like permanent losses. Damn. Like people have been fired. Like it's not like a thing where it's like, oh, we're laying you off, you can come back. It's like, nah, like
we can't afford you.
Yeah. So it's like people are saying like, yeah, they're posting all these new jobs left and right, and it's like, well, okay, I get it, but people who lost their jobs and now like those are permanent losses is something that's very,
sad.
It's sad,
yeah.
And it's just something that's very difficult for people to try to climb out of that hole. And the music industry and the independent music scene is one of the biggest means of revenue for
a lot of people, not just artists. You got stage. Mm-hmm. You got the people who set the stages. Yeah. You got people who take. It's a lot.
Do the lights, do the audio.
It's a lot that goes into that.
Exactly. So that whole infrastructure is something that's very, like I said, it's very paramount for a lot of people. And like I said, for a lot of because we're talking about the smaller people. And this is what people, I think, miss about the economy. It's not the big companies who are suffering. The big companies are going to survive. They're always going to survive. The NBA is going to survive. Walmart's going to survive. Mm-hmm. It's
people you don't hear about.
Right. The mom and pops, the smaller people. And this is just another example of that, just in the lens of the music scene here. So I just came across that, and it just kind of upset me a little bit because that's important for a lot of people. Like I said, not just the performers, but the actual like consumers as well. So
yeah, it's like I said before. I don't know if you remember a couple episodes back, I talked about like how farmers are struggling too. It's all the people that you don't think about who affects you on a daily basis are the ones who are suffering the most.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. It's one of those situations where I hope they can get this together.
Yeah.
But which I think they will. But it's going to take more than Lady Gaga and Billy Joel. It's going to take a lot of people because Congress can't even get a stimulus package right now.
I was just you read my mind. It's just tough, man. And I think with these mandates where they have these places shut down and closed down, that's another thing that's intervening as well. Because like I said, I think the people would chance it, like just the same way they've started to open back movie theaters. I hope that maybe they can lean in the direction with the music as well. So that's all I really wanted to touch on that. I just thought it was interesting that I came across the article I came across, so I just wanted to tap in for a little bit.
It's definitely something that needs attention. So
yeah. So let's move on to Silento. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah,
probably not.
It's Silento. No, you're right.
All right. So he's in some trouble. He's in some Mr. Oh, for those of y'all who don't know, this is the Whip Nene dude. I don't want to make fun of what he did, but
I wonder how much money he made off that song.
It's funny. I wonder if he made it. I wonder if he made
anything.
Yeah.
Direct. Well.
I wonder what he didn't make off. Let me say it like that. Hopefully his paper was right, but that was you couldn't go nowhere without hearing that song.
Oh my God, I was so sick of it.
Yeah, man.
Remember Chicken Noodle Soup?
Yeah, this was to me.
This was bigger.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but it just came to my head.
Yeah, that's when New York niggas were scrambling for some shit to try to compete with us.
They just threw something out of the wind,
killing us. Oh. Yeah. So what happened with him? Assault. He got.
Buddy, what a story.
So all right. So apparently he got arrested. He was inside two people's homes. I don't know if he knew him or not, but he was swinging like a hatchet at him or axe.
Who just carried who? Man, this is such a wild story. When's the last time you heard about somebody pulling out an axe for real?
I just wonder, where do you start with the axe? Like,
how do you walk down the street with that axe on your waist and nobody stops you and be like, "Yo, like, you okay?" Because that's what they said. They said it was on his waist. So he walked. People saw when he was walking. I'm pretty sure he wasn't walking around in some fucking construction gear.
Well, this is the watch and see era, and I'm not gonna lie. If I seen some dude with whatever hatchet, I just would be like,
you just walk. You just gonna keep walking.
He must need it for something. But, so I don't believe anyone was hurt. Luckily, or at least seriously hurt. But this is a young dude, man, 22,
from Stone Mountain.
He's from here. A lot of success, and I don't know if this is on the. I don't think this is the craziest thing I've heard of from like a artist with like a bunch of success, but it's up there.
Nah, Tory Lanez is the craziest.
Yes,
Tory Lanez is crazy.
But what came to mind for me. You remember the dude? What was his name? Houston.
Marcus Houston?
No, his name was Houston. He had a song like "I Like That." It was like a really popular song. The dude ended up like gouging his eye out.
I like that.
Yeah.
Wait, what? He did that?
Yeah, he gouged his eye out. He went like crazy. Yeah, he went crazy. It was.
What?
Yeah. It was.
Jesus.
Yeah, I read that story. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know what he's doing now, but that was like a complete, like, the last thing I thought I would have heard. But this was like on the back. It was on the back of like that song. Like he had like a shit ton of success, shit ton of like, I think it was in a McDonald's commercial too, like the song.
No, he definitely got paid off that song.
Yeah. So,
for sure.
But so back to this dude. And then I heard this ain't even like the craziest part of the story. Apparently, so some of the comments regarding the story was like, "Why do I see a picture of this dude's butthole?"
Yeah, I kept because I didn't know what it was, but I just kept seeing when it was trending on Twitter. All I kept seeing was disturbing photos of Silento. So I was looking for the disturbing photos, but I couldn't find them.
They set you up. They tried
and then the video, and then our man said, video guy said, "Yo, I heard it was his butthole."
You know what's dangerous. You know what's bad about Twitter? Like, it's not like you could click on it and it's like click to view. Like you just scroll and it's just like, bam, like just. So, luckily, I hadn't seen it.
So apparently he was butt naked when this happened, and he was walking around butt naked with an axe, threatening, trying to find some girl.
This is just weird, man. like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't want to interject and say, like, it sounds like maybe drugs may have been involved or something.
You know what would be crazy? What if he was fully sober doing this? Like, what if he was actually sober and he did this?
Well, that's even worse, I think.
Yeah, no, that's way worse.
To be fully aware. Where does he live now? Where did this happen? Los Angeles?
That's what I was wondering. I was wondering, well, he better live in Los Angeles after all that goddamn money.
That sounds like some Los Angeles shit.
Nah, that's not happening in Atlanta. He would have got shot.
All right, 2 people inside their home in Los Angeles. Yeah, it had Cali written all over it. Not Cali, but it had like LA, like rich people in the hills shit written all over it.
Maybe. That sounds like something out of a cheesy thriller. That sounds like, you remember, Scary Movie? Mm. That sounds like a moment out of Scary Movie. For real.
Well, this is not looking good for him on any front. So,
how do you charge? What are the charges again?
I think he got charged with assault.
With a deadly weapon.
So
what about the butt naked part? Like, dude, is he gonna get charged for
what, indecent exposure?
Indecent. That's crazy as fuck.
I don't know what to make this, man. It's just
2020, boy.
Yo,
that's crazy.
These people gotta stop moving to California, man. Like,
you think California turns people crazy? I think LA does.
I think being in a certain environment around certain people with certain substances available can influence that.
Yeah, because did you ever watch the Joe Rogan Post Malone?
No, it was like 50 hours, and I was like,
There was a segment where he talked about living in LA and why he had to move to Utah. Because he said, like, he just couldn't handle it.
It's just, people live by different. I think people live by different rules out there, especially like rich, famous people. Mm-hmm. They don't abide by the same rules. Like, their ideas of fun are like far transcend like the common person. Like, I like going bowling, and they gotta like snort a line and then bowl.
Snort a line.
Yeah, it's just they can't just bowl like the regular person. It's gotta be like, butt ass in some private bowling alley in somebody's house. because you can't, because there's no story to tell if we just had a good time.
You're right.
There's no tabloid behind that. There's no press.
That's what I said. That's what we was talking about before last episode. I said I don't know what I would do if I made so much money that I just wouldn't know what to do with myself. Because I think that's how shit like this happens.
I just, like I said, I think that the people that you get around when you become famous or successful, mm-hmm. is just dangerous. And I think that's why it's important. Like I said, when did this song come out? The Whip song came out
2015,
which means he would have been like 17.
Yeah, 17,
teenager. Who's around him now? Who's in his ear? Who's over his shoulder? Who's
probably nobody he grew up with. Guaranteed up.
You feel what I'm saying? He moved basically across the country, mm-hmm. around a bunch of rich people who he don't really know that well, and with 17, a teenager, he don't know himself yet.
You think if you get a bunch of money as a young person, do you think it's best to stay where you are?
If you get a bunch of money as a young person, I think it's best to.
And I mean like 25 and below.
No, I'm with you. I don't think it matters where you move. I think it just matters who's around you. I think if you don't have, like, whoever was with him when he was coming up, his friends, his parents, his mentors, like whoever his mentors are, or whoever he looks up to, somebody got to look at. I think someone has to have your best interests at heart.
Right.
And if he doesn't have that, it doesn't matter where he lives. He could stay home. He could stay home and just end up around a bunch of people who may be envious of him, and he may be involved in something else. You know, young person gets shot or something like that, because that's what happens a lot of times with people who get successful and they stay where they from. You know, they get involved in altercations with people that, you know, either want to take something from them or they have envy or ego. I just think it all boils down to whoever is around you. And him being a young person, I would hope it would be like his parents or an older relative, older family member who has his best interests at heart. I don't think it's going to be his manager. I don't think it's going to be his whoever he's connected to in the industry. Mm-hmm. So it's a matter of your team and your company.
Yeah, I think we've been seeing a lot of situations lately. Even things as little as Twitter, where celebrities say some dumb shit, and it's like, I know you ain't got nobody around you checking you because you wouldn't have said this shit out loud.
Yeah.
And if you did, and nobody stopped you, I already know you're around the wrong people. And I'm not talking about him in specific. I'm just talking about celebrity. You know, celebrities say a lot of dumb shit.
I think,
and they show how far removed from reality they really are at times.
Success and age can be a dangerous combination. Like a young person acquiring success. That's one of the things I do applaud about Bow Wow is that the peak of his career, he was in his teens. He was a young person. And I've seen like the child actors who get strung out on drugs when they get older, and you feel what I'm saying? And I think Bow Wow, he has had some of his share of hiccups, but nothing to the effect of like what happens when these young people get into these spaces with people and they just go crazy. So I think it's super important when someone is young, and it's the same thing with like these. Now we talk about how, you know, young high school athletes who are wanting to get into the league, and it's like, especially with the NBA, their program now, I think the biggest thing with that is, you know, we putting 18-year-olds in a position to where they could be a millionaire.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think that's why I think it's super important to have the right mentorship and the right type of people around you. So it doesn't matter where you live.
Yeah, I agree. I can agree. I can see that.
So
I think your team is just as important as your location.
Yeah, because that wisdom that they don't have, you know, and money. I always think, and I'll say this and then we can move on. But
yeah,
I think money just illuminates what's going on in your life. When you're a teenager, you're still immature. Money is just going to highlight that immaturity. You have people who will take advantage of it. You have people who they'll come around and disguise themselves as people who want what's best for you, and they steal from you, or they take advantage of you. And it's only when they get older they realize, oh man, I didn't know better. He sounded like he or she sounded like they had my best interests at heart. Now I'm sitting somewhere broken. They gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Either way, you know, yeah, we even though the situation sounds funny, it's still one of those things where, you know, you don't want to read about this kind of shit.
Definitely not, man. So I hope that everyone involved is all right, and I hope, like I said, I hope that if there's someone in his camp, on his team, in his life, you know, who has his back, and because it's just, you don't want to see this, man. And it's not to the same degree as the Tory Lanez thing, but you know, we're seeing a lot of a trend of like young people who are just getting bullshit.
Yeah.
And
like unexplainable bullshit.
Yeah.
Like that. It's not even like tax charges.
Yeah, exactly.
It's something absurd.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, let's dive into the music.
Let's get into the music. So, the long-awaited Big Sean Detroit 2.
Sequel to the acclaimed Detroit mixtape, which is his best mixtape in my opinion.
He has my favorite. My favorite song of his is Higher, which is the first song.
That was the first song of Detroit. Yeah.
That's my favorite song he's ever done.
That song was crazy. That beat, all those beat switches was, yeah, that was great.
Detroit 2. You heard it. I heard it.
First album in 3 years since I decided.
What you think, man? What you think about it?
This is the best album.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Okay.
Wait, what do you wait?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, all right. So I actually am a huge Big Sean fan. I said it before. He took the hiatus for 3 years. There's a lot of artists where they take hiatuses, and I don't really tend to notice, but I did notice him missing when he took a step back. But then you find out why he takes a step back, and you're like, well, can't even be mad about it. He was going through a lot of shit. He had a lot of mental stuff to get together, and it started reflecting in his music too. I think so. I think a lot of his life, I think him putting off his life problems started to reflect, especially on that Metro Boomin project. Mm-hmm. You could tell it started stifling his creativity and everything. So he comes back. So, he takes 3 years off, and he announces Detroit 2, which, I mean, a lot of people, when it comes to their favorite Big Sean mixtapes, it's between Finally Famous Volume 3 and Detroit, normally.
Yeah.
So, and when artists announce a sequel to, their most critically acclaimed work, the reactions are normally like, oh, they can't do that, or if they do it, they better not fuck it up.
I think it's risky, but
it's definitely it's like when Wayne dropped the Carter 2 and then he announced the Carter 3.
Yeah,
because I still think the Carter 2 was his best album to this day, but he announced Carter 3. So there's a lot of stigma, and you got people already doubting you because you did that. So he drops this album, and I thought it was great. I loved it. The production, you could tell there was a lot of money behind this album. Def Jam, I think Def Jam wrote him a blank check on this one, because from the features to he had the No ID production, Key Wayne, Hit Boy, Mike Will. Pretty sure he had some other ones I can't think about. I
need to figure out what the fuck Hit Boy got going on.
Hit Boy's on the street.
He and everybody's shit right now. And not that I'm complaining about it, because he is on a tear.
I think the industry's just starting to take notice. I really think this is what it is. I feel like, but you got to remember, Hit Boy did have a moment where he tried to be a rapper. I mean, he's still doing it, but he started focusing heavily on rapping. And I think now he's like veering more back to producing. He still raps every now and then, but I think he's veering more back to that production, which I think he should stick to, because he's really good. I think he's going to go down as one of the greats, honestly.
Maybe he did that to kind of lash out. He's like, yo, so y'all niggas don't want to rap on my beats? Fine, I'll rap on my beats.
That's possible. Yeah, he really could have did that.
Hey. And he's like, damn, bro, you got that? That's the fire you? Like, no, nope. But
that's my fire.
Yeah, mine, nigga.
But, yeah, man, production was great. Lyrics. Big Sean sound, I don't know. I didn't really start appreciating Big Sean until he left. I ain't gonna lie. Because I said it before. Remember, because I think his first return was, shit. What was it, man? He had a verse on something. I don't remember. Anyway, he had a verse. Not that one. Not Detroit versus Everybody. It was it Halftime? Fuck, I don't remember. He did a feature where he came back, and it just felt refreshing to hear his voice. It's like if Kendrick were to come back. It's like, fuck, it's great to hear it from you finally.
Yeah.
And because I feel like a lot of artists don't have that. A lot of artists aren't like that, where it's just refreshing to hear them. But with Big Sean, especially knowing everything he was going through, it felt good hearing him come back. And he sounds more focused right now. He sounds like he's in a different space, even down to his music. Did you see the video for Lithuania?
Yeah.
Man, Like even the Harder Than My Demons video, his videos are starting to reflect he's in a clearer space. They're more creative. Those videos are really creative that he did for this album. You know, it's a lot of stuff that's starting to shine. So I'm happy for him, man. And what else? I don't know. I love this album. The only song I didn't like was really The Baddest.
Do you have any standout tracks?
Standouts. The first track.
Why Would I Stop?
That was a great intro.
Yeah.
That was the perfect way to start his album. Let me pull it up. Sorry. All right. Anyway, Why Would I Stop? I love Lucky Me. That beat switching Lucky Me was crazy.
Let me tell you something, man. I told you.
I know you love Lucky Me because your favorite song was Higher. So I know you're that beat. You was
my
like,
second favorite song is probably Lucky Me.
That beat switch was.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. Well, I'm gonna wait because I'm gonna let you finish, but I'm gonna.
Okay. Lucky Me. I like Wolves. Harder Than My Demons. I like Everything That's Missing, but I like the bangers more on this album. I ain't gonna lie. The CTFO. I did like Yard Your Heart. Wale came with it. Wale was rapping like he really had something to prove.
Everybody on that song got off, bro. That was
a good song.
Yeah.
Respect It. Lithuania. Full. I don't know, man. I like the whole goddamn album. The only thing I didn't. I mean, Time, man.
You said
Time.
You said the Baddest. You didn't fuck.
I didn't fuck with the Baddest.
And you said Time In, which is the
Time In just
that's they 2088 shit.
It just didn't fit to me.
Yeah, I don't know if they.
I don't know if that was like a record label decision or was that his decision. Cause that
look, we get it. Y'all are still cool. Y'all love each other. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that song just did not fit in this album.
Do an EP and piss off.
Man, we don't even gotta talk about. We gotta talk about Friday Night Cypher. Oh my god, Friday Night Cypher was shit, man.
I think I owe Eminem an apology.
Eminem went crazy.
I owe him an apology, man.
Words can't describe Eminem's verse in that song. He wasn't, man. They gave him the beat that the song started off with, because everybody had a different beat. Him and T Grizzly were the only two people that shared the beat.
You know, I think, and I don't know for sure, but you know, him and, not directly, but him and T Grizzly had kind of some static. Not static, but something to the effect of, he was talking about either him and Royce or him and Eminem was like, yo, Detroit Cash should collaborate, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yeah, it was Eminem. It wasn't Royce.
Yeah.
I remember that.
But I think Royce had maybe commented on it. He had talked about it, but it was something to the effect of, it would be a good look for both of us because it'd be you reaching out to the young people, the younger artists, and it's like, I'm also on your song, or I'm on a song with you, and it's like it helps both of us.
It does though.
So I think somehow maybe Big Sean bridged that, or
and also Eminem kind of owed him because his No Favors verse. I went back to it. I thought it was dope at first, but going back, you could have been better. But he came with it, man. I don't know what it was because Royce was on the beat, because Royce came with it too. Yeah, Cash Doll, I love Cash Doll's verse.
Yeah, Royce verse was hard.
That shit, Cash Doll's talking about you drank Pinnacle, bitch, you pitiful, or something. I was like, yo, she was getting off. Man, I don't know, man.
I like the samples they did. I like the We Gon' Make It, and the grinding. When I first heard it, I didn't know how to feel about it because I love grinding. That's just like a legendary beat to me. But
how much you think they paid for that? Boy, you know they came out the bank for that one, boy.
I don't know, but what do you rate it, the album overall?
I'll give it 9.
9.
Minus you take out 2088 and the other song, Baddest, and I like it. I love this. Oh, I like Dave Chappelle's story too. Dave Chappelle had a good story.
When doesn't he?
Yeah, his story was good. Erykah Badu's was okay. I don't know how I felt about Erykah Badu's. I like the poem, but
when Dave Chappelle's story is first, it's kind of hard to.
It's hard to follow.
Have a better
Stevie Wonder was just like, yo, I got blind and I learned how to play piano here.
Yo, I saw that piano too.
I saw the piano before I got blind, so
for the record.
But Dave Chappelle's story, I enjoyed Dave Chappelle's story. So yeah, I don't know. I can talk about this album all day, so I'm gonna just go.
Oh no, I'm letting you cook. I enjoyed the album, man. I gotta say, we just tapped on it. Why Would I Stop is a good intro. Intros are kind of like
Big Sean's always been good at intros.
I don't have no doubt that he would deliver on the intro.
Yeah, I've never heard a bad intro by Big Sean.
I think Lucky Me, the number one, in my opinion, it's very hard to make all that shit fit. The beat switching,
the flow switching. The flow switch was crazy.
It's hard to make all that shit. Like that nigga said, I got super fast flow, I got double time shit, I got the regular flow. Like he just And in terms of like it's like with Big Sean, and to me, it's like if I was to describe Big Sean is like the boxer who doesn't have necessarily knockout power, but he has like technical skill.
Mm-hmm.
So
people
feel.
Go ahead.
People may feel a way about some of his bars, like some of them hit hard, some of them don't. But the technical aspect of Sean,
you can't deny it.
He is very good with flows. He's very good with changing them without it sounding weird. He can, and this is Lucky Me is probably the best example of that.
And he needed a Lucky Me. In an album full of features, he needed that one song where he's like, "No, nigga, I can rap with the best of them," and that was the song where he had it.
So I really was like, "Damn."
Lucky Me was great.
So it follows up with Deep Reverence, which I already like that song.
Oh, I forgot to say that.
Don't have to get into it, but I like that song. I hate that it came after Lucky Me, but it's still a great song. It's still a great song. Wolves grew on me. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like it at first, but it grew on me. I like Body Language. Harder Than My Demons is cool. Everything That's Missing is cool. I'm not gonna lie, Zen the fuck out. It just didn't really connect with me. Guard Your Heart, I love that song.
That's a great song.
Innocent Pac, Big Sean. What's my other man's name? I forget his name. Wale's on there too. There's another artist on there as well.
It was a song that couldn't fail.
But
that song couldn't fail.
That's a great song. Respect It. I like Young Thug's feature.
Yes.
He killed that shit.
Yeah, he killed it.
Lithuania, my only gripe with it is that first drum, them first drums they use in the beginning.
They did like a mid drum switch, didn't they?
Yeah, I just wish the drums they used after, I wish they should have just kept it the whole song.
I agree with that.
So that was like my gripe with that song, because it feels different. So like the break drums in the beginning, in contrast with like the trap drums like after that, it was like, damn, y'all should have had the whole song like this.
Because you even heard Travis Scott. I mean, you heard Big Sean adjust to the flow of the second drum.
That's what I'm saying.
And I noticed it.
So I wish they would have just kept that the whole way. I like Full Circle. 2088. It's all right. I like Feed. I like the beat of Feed. The beat is great.
Feed, yeah.
I'm with you. The Baddest. Whatever horn, whatever synth they had in that shit, it was bad from there. After that, I was just like, yeah, this ain't gonna be it for me.
You know that was produced by No ID.
Yeah, that's what let me down too. Like, damn. But even the greats miss. It happens. Dawn Life is good. Now, Friday Night Cypher.
Boy,
I gotta say,
that was a moment.
Hold on now, because I gotta say,
you owe some apologies or something?
Well, I already told you. I owe Eminem an apology.
Yeah.
A little disappointed in Boldy James' verse, and I actually kind of a little disappointed in Big Sean's verse.
What?
A little disappointed in comparison to like T Grizzly got off, Cash Dog got off.
I think T Grizzly should have had a longer one.
Yeah. So T Grizzly got off, Cash Dog got off, Royce got off,
42 Doug even got off.
Yeah. So in comparison, I'm saying I was just saying I was a little disappointed, but yeah, Eminem, I owe Eminem an apology. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. I hold Eminem to such a high standard So maybe I don't owe him an apology, but what I will say is I will give credit where credit's due. I think people who love Eminem a lot, they are afraid of, not afraid, but they any inkling of critique, it's like we're haters.
Yeah.
But when he delivers, and I'll give him his due on this song 100%. And I already knew he was going to finish the song out, so I wasn't even surprised by that.
Yeah.
But he closed that bitch out.
Imagine if he would have started, if he would have opened it.
Well, no, it's a good thing he didn't.
Yeah, it would have been impossible to follow that.
Because the rest of the niggas would have sucked. But he cleaned up. And Still I Rise is a good song. Although I would have liked for Dom Kennedy to have a verse.
Agreed.
That kind of disappointed me. DJ Khalil did that beat. It sounded great. The stories were good. I know that's kind of a ode to what he did in the first Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
So I fucks with him. All in all, I say 8.5, and I really hope that. How do I say this? I hope this continues, man. Like I said, Sean is. I think he's kind of. We talk about the music tiers, and everyone talks about Kendrick, Drake, Cole, and that second tier. Underneath that, I think Sean can stay there, and he can be there. I think maybe with a renewed state of mind, and in this album, he really sounded like
top tier.
He wanted to, let people know like, yo, I still got it. I still got it. And sometimes you gotta like you're really tested in your times of critique when people don't love your stuff as much. When people, like you said, him and Metro Boomin shit, I don't think that was received that well.
Yeah.
So to me that's where it's those things that I think really push an artist to elevate themselves. So great album. I usually my takes are one listen. I'm not gonna lie. There's a couple of these songs I've heard Lucky Me probably like 20 times.
Lucky Me is great, man.
Because it's just
a great song.
It's a good fucking song, man. So, and I think the replay value on this shit is gonna be pretty solid.
Oh no, there's one thing this album got is replay.
So I think it, like I said, for him it's a solid album. I think it's gonna age well. And like I said, 8.5 for me.
I'm glad it was the one thing I was happy about with this album. He didn't have any cringy bars. That's always, all his stuff, he's always had that one cringy bar. I'm like, oh, goddamn. He didn't have any this album, I don't think.
I didn't pay attention to him. He had a couple, but I let him cook. I let him cook because the flow was made up for it.
That's always been his problem. He always has that one bar that makes you just be like, goddamn, why'd you say that?
Yeah. And to be honest with you, like I like him when he just tells stories. Like honestly,
he's a great storyteller.
Because the bars thing is I hate to say it. I don't hate to say it, but we know you can rap now. So the whole metaphor and stuff like that, I think that kind of like I'm not wild by that the same way I used to be when it was like punchlines and stuff was just like a big thing. People they want to be more in tune with like what's going on with you. What have you been dealing with? Tell us about, like he mentioned in the deep reference thing about him and Kendrick piecing it up.
Yeah.
He made reference to possibly, I think maybe he said something about losing a baby.
Yeah, I remember that bar too.
Things that are just more prevalent to what's going on in your life, I think that connects a lot better for me than just punchlines and they have their place here and there. I.e. Eminem is that Pulitzer Kendrick shit.
Oh man,
Jesus fucking Christ! I was like,
I remember that. I do remember that.
Man, he had, and that's just one of them. He had quite a few, but for me, because of Sean's journey, I'm much more happy with, or I'm much more interested in what's going on with him than just whether or not he can still rap. So
I think this is gonna be the album that people put him in that top tier.
Yeah,
I think he's deserves to be in the top tier after this one.
Yeah, agreed. So we both say it's a great album. Definitely would recommend it to you guys if you haven't heard it. And let's go ahead and move into
Singles?
Yeah, we could do singles.
Oh, wait, what you about to say?
No, we could do singles.
All right. So single SZA is back. Dropped the new album. Did you see the video? I haven't seen the video.
I saw some of it.
I heard the video was good though.
It's good. She directed it.
Oh damn.
Yeah, she directed it.
Oh, she lit.
Yeah, so she directed it. Song is featuring Ty Dolla $ign, who was
When is he dropping the album?
Man, fuck him. But he did his thing on his feature. He did his thing, which is
That's a no-brainer.
It's part of the frustration with him.
His features are too good.
Yeah, hit different, and surprisingly, Neptune's produced. That kind of I was surprised by that. Neptune's also did Monica's song that she debuted after the Versus thing as well with Lil Baby. But going back to SZA, I like this song, man.
It's a good song. I fuck with it.
I like it. And this coupled with the Kendrick shit, I think hopefully this means that
Kendrick's dropping.
TDE stuff is coming. Because I think right now we need that. I don't want to see Schoolboy Q playing a fucking golf game with.
I need a new J-Rock album too. So
J-Rock?
I think it's about that time.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is Isaiah Rashad?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
If Isaiah got to be dropping.
We looking for J-Rock. They done gave us D Smoke. And I like D Smoke, but
I wasn't looking for D Smoke.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking for him.
But where J-Rock at, man? Like, where Ab Soul at? Where all these, you know what I'm saying? Like, So that's another reason I was bothered by the independent thing. That's what I've seen all these dudes in the venues. I saw Ab Soul a couple years ago when he had the what was the album? Do What Thou Wilt.
Yeah.
I saw him here, I think at the Loft. So anyway, great song. I've seen some of the video, and it looks, from what I've seen, it looks dope. It looks dope, and if this is any indication, I'm definitely looking forward to her project for sure. So,
and Ty Dolla $ign's project whenever that comes out.
Whenever, but
let's see. Bryson Tiller's back.
Inhale.
That song hard. I don't care what you say.
With a great sample and
that sample's great.
That sample is incredible.
Oh, that sample was great.
And like 4 bars from Bryson.
Oh, you're hating.
Listen, man, go back and listen to that song. And that song is 2 minutes of samples and 45 seconds of Bryson like talking for a little bit.
That's all we need.
No.
That's all we need.
That will not do. Shoot. Especially when, listen, we just, well, not we, but people have pinned him and Tory, and you got your nemesis is on the ropes now. you should
time for the knockout punch.
You should have an EP. You should have an EP coming, G. Like, like.
I think he got something dropping.
Well,
but he be dropping it. But here's the thing. He's been dropping a bunch of loosies over the years, but this is the first one where he actually like promoted it. So that's why I think he got something coming out.
Well, it better come.
I think we'll get a project before the end of the year.
Well, hopefully. Like I said, I was disappointed because I like Bryson Tiller. Tiller. So when I hear, he didn't even come in. The song was like a minute. Like, it was the first minute was like a sample, and then he finally comes in. I'm like, okay, so he does like 45 seconds and then back to the sample, which they kind of just slowed down a little bit. And
did you see the video?
Some of it.
I like the video. It was a cool video.
I'm sure it was.
Not much was going on, but it was cool.
Oh, what do you know?
What do we expect?
What do you know? So,
let's see who else. Joyner Lucas and Ashanti Fall Slowly. Even though Ashanti didn't really do anything, I don't know why. Something else I liked about Big Sean album. I liked all the uncredited vocals. I meant to say that.
Oh,
the ASAP Rocky, Justin Bieber was in it.
I read that Keith Sweat had like.
Really?
Yeah, I can't remember what song it was.
I wouldn't be surprised. He had a lot of people. He had a lot of background vocals from celebrities, and I really liked that. That was just something random. Anyway, back to Joyner Lucas. Yeah. So he dropped Fall Slowly with Ashanti. Honestly, I think it's a good song, but I think you got to watch the video with it because the video reinforces the song more.
So I guess they're an item now. They're an actual.
Are they? I hope. Joyner Lucas pulled Ashanti.
They was kind of like they was real.
They was
real item-y. They look item-y.
Unless Joyner Lucas trying to get into acting, Look real to me.
Well, I think this is a good song for him.
I think he needed this song.
I think he was falling dangerously in that territory of like
generic,
repetitive, like rapidy rap theme. Like we need like an extra brainstorm theme shit. Just go love somebody.
Get a girlfriend, nigga.
Ashanti's a good look.
Man, that's a W.
That gives
Ashanti's a W.
Ashanti's a good look, and I think that'll, I like the song, and like I said, it's a change of pace for him.
Did you know Ashanti was 39?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Why you say that?
Look at her.
Yeah, she looks great.
That woman is an angel.
She looks great. But she's kept herself up over time. Like she hasn't put out music like that, so she's kind of gone under the radar. But when people be like reminding you about people, y'all seen Ashanti lately? And niggas was posting pictures. I was like,
you know what's crazy? I think she looks better now than she did back then.
Yeah, you don't have the stress of being screwed by your label.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, when your money ain't fucking funny, you can just live and breathe and enjoy life. You gonna look different. Your skin gonna look different. She
looks good.
Yeah, she looks great. She looks great. So,
man, shout out to Joyner. What the fuck? Whatever.
Absolutely.
He got respect. The fact that he even kissed her, he got the respect in my book.
Yeah, that's what I said, man. That for them to,
he don't even got to be with her. You kissed her, you got it.
Close enough.
I'm cool.
Close enough. Yeah.
Khaled. Oh, I was gonna go. I was gonna say the breakdown of the video. I wanted to just
Corday and Roddy Ricch.
So in case y'all didn't know, YBN has split up, which I think everybody kind of saw coming. So it was just a matter of time.
Yeah. So YBN Corday is now just Corday. If you've heard his music,
he's lucky his name sounds good by itself.
Corday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's lucky. A lot of artists, like imagine saying like with the ASAP Ferg. Imagine Ferg. Yeah. He's lucky his name sounds good. So they dropped the song together, Gifted. Did you listen to it?
No.
It's a good song.
That's what's up.
Roddy Ricch didn't have a feature. He just did. I think he just did the hook, but they kind of did the thing where they interchanged lyrics in the hook.
Gotcha.
But it was a good song. It was a good song nonetheless. I really liked it. I didn't see the video, but there is a video out for it.
That's what's up.
So if you haven't heard it, check that out. Now, on to the most important thing of the day. DJ Khaled, Drake, the Biebs.
So the video.
That video was dope.
Was pretty good. And it was creative. Popstar. I get it. So it was a funny video. They had like, it's like you don't really see too many of the videos where it's like they have like the little acting setup or like the scene and then they do the video. So it was cool. The Khaled shit was kind of those little collages of videos, and I liked it.
This reinforces my theory that Justin Bieber is the coolest celebrity out of all the celebrities.
A lot of people fuck with him, man. A lot of people like him. And, it was, like I said, the video was cool. Shout out to the editor.
Yeah.
Who knew that.
The N-word was coming.
Who knew that Drake said nigga in the song. And knew to make sure that they cut that scene out to where it was just people dancing.
That was smart. I got to give it to him.
They went right back to, because I heard the song before, and when I seen Justin Bieber, I was like, wait a minute.
And Justin Bieber said the N-word on that part.
Exactly. Like,
he said nigga.
He didn't learn his lesson. So, yeah, that was a
dope video, man. I watched it twice. I was like, oh, this is cool, actually.
So if you want to know if you can say the word in a song if you're a white person, this is a pretty good sample of maybe you probably shouldn't. Because they didn't let Justin Bieber get it off.
They didn't.
So,
but it was I like the video. I like the concept. I like what they did with Khaled in the beginning. Yeah. I really like that. Where he just kept sending Drake a bunch of, we need to do a video.
Yeah.
It'd be funnier if those are real.
They probably are.
They probably are real.
So, at least some of them. And I think Khaled knows how to make fun of himself when it comes to stuff like that. So
I mean, some of them they were fake, but I guarantee you a lot of those are probably real.
Yeah. So,
but
it's on par with
his brand,
how he acts. Yeah. It's on par with the way he is. So, like I said, anytime a person can make fun of themselves for the sake of art and stuff like that, I'm a fan of it.
And that just speaks to that's a testament of their friendship too.
Yeah.
Because I ain't gonna lie, if somebody was calling me like that, annoying me about a damn video, boy, I probably start talking to him.
Yo, why do you have all those pictures of me in your house, man? You got 2 kids, bro. Where are they at? You have 2 children. I ain't see no son, no wife. Just me and you. What's up with that?
It was a good video. I liked it. I like the fact that they played the COVID thing into it because Canada's borders are actually closed.
Yeah. So, no, like I said, they tied it in.
Yeah.
To they tied it in.
It was good, man. I fuck with the video. Did you see King Bach in the video? He was in it.
Batch, yeah.
King Batch, my bad. And that other guy who I don't remember the name of.
I just recognized King Batch.
Oh, you did? It was somebody else in it too.
Yeah.
But it made me like the song more.
It's just it's a fun video. It's a fun, like I said, everything about the video is just like
Popstar.
It's just fun. It's just fun. So
man, I fuck with the bees, man.
Yeah, I thought it was a good video.
If he hears this podcast, I hope we can get him as a guest. I fuck with him for real.
Yeah, it was a good video. So
I fuck. All right, man. On to the moment you've been
now.
waiting
The
on.
most important segment.
Wait, before we get there, Jessica.
Oh, we gotta get this. This bullshit. This doppelganger. This fraud. All right, so this lady is out here blackfishing, or faking the funk. So we have the second incarnation of Rachel Dolezal, a woman by the name of Jessica Krug. Not sure how to pronounce her name, but she was a professor at George Washington University, and she recently came clean that she is not in fact black, although she has been masquerading around as black.
3 different types of black at that.
Yes. So I think this is first of all, I think this is gross. It goes without saying, this is fucking gross. And just the same way with Rachel Dolezal, all the shit that you claim you were trying to help accomplish, you could have just did that just being who you are. And I have no idea why you felt the need to do this. She's trying to lean on the mental illness shit. The mental illness wave, that's a cop out. What did you think when you came across this? What was your?
Well, I didn't find out until our video guy told us about this moment.
I forgot about it.
I didn't even know this happened.
Yeah, because I wasn't gonna bring it up.
When did this even come out?
This is recently. It is maybe a few days old.
Okay. So
it is recent.
I don't know. I don't know whether to be outraged or confused. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think, well, me personally, I'm not outraged. It's just not necessary. And, first she was black, then she was Puerto Rican, then she was like black Jamaican, and just like.
From Bronx. That's what it was. A black Jamaican from
Brooklyn. Man, we set it off mic, but she was just like Thanos collecting them stones.
Yeah.
She got the Jamaican stone and.
Imagine that. Imagine
stone.
Going crazy. Like pretending to be black, and then you just getting off on it.
I think she just maybe has like just infatuation with like just other ethnicities. She was like, "Yeah, I'll be Puerto Rican today. I'll be Hispanic." Like just that's what makes it gross, man. It's just. Do you
think it's even a mental thing? Do you think she just enjoyed it? I think she just enjoyed it.
I think it's just. I think she enjoyed it. It is a mental thing, but not the way she's saying it. Like, I experienced things as a youth that caused me to not like she's trying to play like the victim shit, like things that happened to her in her life is what caused her to do this. Like, give me a fucking break, man.
Man, I don't know. I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've read about this in a while. So
and my black people, if you see something, say something, because what happened was. She started spouting out too many ethnicities, and somebody got curious.
Because that means you switching ethnicities every once in a while, and then you switching your entire persona.
So a professor or another staff member, they became curious and they did a little bit of investigating. They tried to get to the bottom of this because something just didn't seem right. And I believe she just started getting asked a bunch of questions like, "Yo, is you black? Is you black? Is you black?" And she's like, "Oh shit, the jig is up." I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids.
I can't imagine the thought process getting caught pretending to be black.
She maybe just then. I don't think she just anticipated like what happens if I get pressed, because she folded quick. She was
hella quick. She ain't fight it. She's like, yeah, you caught me.
Like, are you a Karen? Like, shit. The shit broke down.
Oh my god.
Walls was closing in, and she was like, "Yeah." She tried to get out in front of it. That's what she tried to get out in front of it, and then just play like the, I'm embarrassed, I'm ashamed. Come on.
And then on top of that, she teaches African American studies.
Course.
Because of course.
Oh yeah, why not?
Hey, well, it had to be that, right?
Listen, man. This is
Man, goddamn. And so they canceled their classes for the rest of the semester, I think, or something. Do you get those kids all A's? Do they all get A's automatically?
They should.
They definitely should. They deserve it.
Listen, how you gonna flunk me and you white?
Yeah, they deserve all A's after this.
You lie. You lying. You falsifying. So it's like, come on, man.
Damn. Her whole career is done. She's done. They're not going to cancel her, but I think her teaching career is over for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a wrap for her. So.
Oh well.
All right.
Don't be a Jessica.
Don't be.
Please. All right, man. Now on to the moment you've been waiting for.
Here we go.
Oh my God, this dude cracked his ass.
Yeah, we finna get into this thing now. All right. So we're moving on to movies. As you all may have heard last week, if you listened last week, we were very excited to see Tenet. That is Tenet, not to be confused with tenant, as in a landlord and tenant. Anyway, the Christopher Nolan movie that was slated to be released in July, and then of course got pushed back because of COVID. It came out this week. I saw it. You saw it. And I am going to do my best. Well, I'm not going to say do my best. I am going to give you a spoiler-free take on it. First things first, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. I think it's a good movie. I do plan on seeing it again this weekend.
Absolutely. Gotta see it again.
It is satisfyingly confusing, if that makes sense.
It's a Nolan movie.
And yes, because it is a Christopher Nolan movie, you kind of, if you're familiar with his work, you kind of just prepare yourself
to be confused.
So the premise of the movie in the short version is basically they are John David Washington's character is working with Robert Pattinson and some other folks to try to stop the end of the world. That's the short version of the premise. And I would explain like the mechanics of the whole time inversion thing. I'm not going to do that.
They explained it, and I still was like, what
so like
fuck?
Explaining it, I got it, but then when I saw it happen.
Yeah,
it was like confusing.
Yeah,
a little bit.
You know, it was weird. I think explaining it, I got confused. When they showed it, I was like, oh, okay, I don't get it.
And they threw that line in there. Don't understand it, feel it. That was for us. That went for him.
No. He definitely threw a bunch of stuff out for the audience to be like, it's for the audience to get it.
Yeah. So
he knew it.
Yeah. So I did enjoy it. It's I knew it was going to be a long movie. It is a long movie.
Hella long.
If I had to give a gripe about it, and this isn't just this movie, but some of his movies or most of his movies, sound issues. And what I mean by the sound issues is the mixing. So between the soundtrack, the sound effects, the dialogue, there are certain scenes where I felt like it was hard to hear. And of course, Christopher Nolan likes to have niggas wearing masks. So imagine trying to understand a nigga with a mask, but also being drowned out by the sound that's behind him.
Boy,
that is a chore.
That sound mixing was bad.
It was bad.
It was bad.
And that is probably the one thing that I don't know how much of that I'm going to continue to put up with. I don't give a goddamn how great your movies are.
Did you know that he actually won 5 Oscars for sound? And I'm serious. Did you know that?
Who he got? Who he got something on somebody? He got
would,
have something on somebody.
You know, because I read an article where somebody brought it up, and then his producer defended him. They were like, "Well, do you realize that Christopher Nolan has 5 Oscars for sounds?" And I googled it, and I was like, "Wait, he really does."
But I don't know what that means because it's niggas who got Grammys who can't sing. So I mean,
Macklemore got it. Macklemore won Best Album of the Year.
So I don't know.
None of this shit matter.
I don't know. I don't know what you're telling me, man. So
that shit.
You know, it's the Oscar means shit. I was in the theater. Like I know what I heard. Yeah, I know what I could. I know what I could.
Nah, that
hear.
shit was bad.
So that was my gripe. The only other gripe is, and this is just kind of the nature of the business with Christopher Nolan movies. The movies tend to be, and this is not really an exception, but it just shows how great he is, and it doesn't really give the actors a chance to shine. So like none of them did.
That was one of my biggest problems.
None of them did bad, but they're all replaceable. Like there's not one character that you say, oh, he has to be in that role.
But do you think he did that by design?
It's just the nature. The stories or the movies, I think the script is just geared to, he wants to tell the story. He don't really care about how you feel about the characters.
Yeah.
I think he just wants to make you witness the story and move the story along. So like there's very few exceptions. I think with Inception, like that was a little different because, you know, you got Leonardo DiCaprio's character. He's trying to deal with his wife's, the whole thing about her being dead or not being dead, and then wanting to see his kids, and like you kind of care about that. You kind of like want to see that play out, even in the midst of what he's dealing with, trying to do the mission and being chased by the niggas at the same time. You know what I mean? And Interstellar gives you a little bit of like emotional, like with Matthew McConaughey's character, but for the most part, it's just, you know, they're basically pawns on the chessboard. They're just the piece moves, and like I said, they didn't do bad. Like John David Washington, I thought he did good.
He was
Robert Pattinson did well. The villain dude,
Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah, even though he didn't look intimidating, but he had a couple lines he said in that movie. I was oh shit.
Oh no,
I don't want no parts of that.
He had some moments. Where
he said some of the stuff he was saying in the movie. I was like, oh, I don't want no parts of that.
Because he didn't have an intimidating like. His physical presence wasn't intimidating.
Yeah, exactly.
But they had the moments where it was like,
which
I see.
And that makes it hard too, because if you actually couple that with the woman lead, I forget the actress's name, but she's like tall. Mm-hmm. He's like a little dude. He's just like,
and you can see it.
Yeah,
it was obvious.
So, and that's like, damn, like I step on you. But he was able to still have that.
You felt it.
Yeah. So. Those are probably my main gripes. If you are a fan of Nolan and you kind of know what to expect, then I think you would at least be willing to try to work through the confusion. If you're not necessarily a fan of his, I'm not sure that you're like this. If you're someone who prefers to just enjoy movies and not really have to like pay attention.
Don't go see this.
Yeah,
man,
this ain't for you.
This ain't the movie.
If you've seen Inception, I personally do think it is more complicated than Inception.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. You know when I realized how complicated this movie was? That red and blue team shit. Oh, buddy.
I'm not gonna say nothing about that.
I ain't gonna say.
So the final act.
I was
about that, and which is funny because that is like the only part I really need to like rewatch again.
That red and blue team part.
Because I was just like,
boy, oh boy.
Wait. So I started kind of getting it when I seen something happen. I'm not gonna say what happened, but when I seen like a certain thing happen. And I was like, okay, so like, oh, it's like, oh man, they fucking with me, man.
Yeah, that whole thing.
So
and that was like a good what, 30 minutes?
Yeah,
boy.
So yeah, it's a good movie. I think shot really well. Like visually, it's
cinematography is always on point.
It's incredible, and there are some scenes that stand out. There's a certain scene from the trailer. And there's 2 versions of the scene, one in the beginning, one in the end.
Man, you talking about the
Jesus fucking Christ,
boy.
Bro. I was just like, yo. When I put that together, and I was just like,
and then to visually see them put it. Boy.
That's when I text you. I was like, bro, I can't even. You asked me if I saw it. I didn't even finish the movie, but I text you like at that scene. I was like, bro, I can't even explain it.
That was some crazy shit. You had to be on a different level. Do you think Christopher Nolan be on shrooms when he writes these? You think he be on drugs for real? I think he be on drugs.
I don't care.
That shit was crazy.
Give him more.
Yo,
that's what he putting out. Give him more.
Honestly, the only reason why we're not spoiling it for y'all is because our video guy hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd be going crazy.
Well,
with
keep
the
it a buck.
spoilers.
Like I said, I don't even know if I can really explain it.
I couldn't
in a way that would give
it's hard.
Yeah, would give it its proper due. But I think that again, it's a great movie. If you love Christopher Nolan, I think you'll love this. Again, there are some things that I do think will probably annoy you, mainly the mixing. But that's kind of where I'm at with it. Anything else you wanted to?
I mean, I just he didn't even name the characters.
Well, no.
Well, he didn't name the main character. He named the protagonist.
The main character he did.
So I'm pretty sure y'all already know that. So that's not a spoiler. What else? I mean, you pretty much said everything. I got to see it again too because the movie's a lot to digest, especially in one sitting. There's no way anyone watched that movie in one sitting and understood it off the rip. It's no way. Well, but how much money do you think they gave him to produce that? Because they crashed the whole damn plane.
Well, they said that the movie would need to make $1 billion to recoup.
They crashed the plane.
A big plane. They didn't crash.
Like that was like a Boeing.
Yeah.
And because he doesn't believe in CGI. He does practical effects.
Yeah.
So that means they really crashed that damn plane.
Yeah.
And like ruined the building and everything.
What I will say, and then I guess we can move on, is this is why
we need movies. I think this movie show why we need theaters too.
Well, not only that, but this is a great example of what happens when you try to. This is the story. This is a story that's been told a bunch of times. Spies trying to save the world, but when you are creative in how you tell the story, it makes for a unique experience. We have too many reboots going on, too many by so-called creators, where we were just trying to remake the same shit that came out 20 years ago.
That Mulan remake was terrible.
Oh yeah, I'm not even.
We don't gotta talk about it.
I'm not gonna dabble into that.
We'll leave it at that.
But it goes to show. It's just like, look, man. We can, if you just take the time to just brainstorm on some stuff. There is nothing new under the sun, but there is a unique way to tell the same story. Like I said, essentially, Spy Saves the World is not a new premise or new concept, which obviously the new James Bond is going to be another example of that. But
I can't wait.
God. Yeah, me neither.
Did you see that trailer?
I did.
Oh my God.
I did. So, but still, it's just, which is another thing too. I think Chris Nolan is like begging for like, let me get one of the movies, man.
Give Christopher Nolan a James Bond movie.
Let me direct one of them things,
boy.
Man.
Oh my Lord, they not ready for that one.
He gonna put James Bond in the fifth dimension somewhere.
I mean, he'll make another Skyfall.
That nigga he'll be having to solve missions in 4 different timelines.
Man, get that man James Bond. Just give him one.
But yeah, great movie. Tenet's awesome.
I give it 4 pieces of random sugar.
What the fuck is that?
4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 pieces of random sugar. They not paying us.
Assorted pieces of
assorted pieces of candy.
All right. Now we do have some. I don't know if it's bad news, but we have some news.
It's bad news for people that care. I know I care.
So unfortunately, Batman production has halted, as its star, Robert Pattinson, who we just discussed from Tenet, has tested positive for COVID-19. So, the virus starts with a bat, and to the bat it returns.
Did you write that before we got here?
I was thinking about something. I was pondering it up.
I feel like that sounded like something you thought about.
I did. Because it makes sense.
That was good. That was good, actually.
It makes sense.
I'll give you that one.
If anyone's going to cure this thing, it's going to be Bruce Wayne. the resources that he has.
What if when the Batman drops, they release the cure to the virus?
He can't have a cowl and a mask. That's just a lot. It's just tough.
Yeah.
And he's like he likes to use some hands, man. He can't gadget people to death. Can't be killing niggas 6 feet.
Not after that trailer I saw.
Exactly. Like he couldn't.
I low-key don't want to see any gadgets after that shit.
So, but in all seriousness, we certainly hope this isn't serious, and they have halted production, and we will keep you updated. So it is a little unfortunate, but I do think that things will resume. I do think that they'll continue to shoot.
Oh, yeah.
And I am still looking forward to...
There's too much hype behind this movie.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this movie. And, yeah, that's all I got for it. I just really wanted to get that.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't have a deep dive.
I mean, it's just news, but nothing crazy.
All right, man.
So, what we got? Sports?
Yeah. Steve Nash, in case y'all didn't know, is making headlines for some reason. Steve Nash is hired as the Nets head coach, and people are saying that race played a part of it.
So there's been discussions of white privilege.
Yeah.
About Steve Nash's hiring as a coach, and the argument for this is that he is a Hall of Fame player, but he does not have any coaching experience. There are people who referenced other coaches, black coaches with experience, that may have been more suitable for the job. So that is the argument for the claim of white privilege. You want to give your thoughts on how you feel about it?
I don't think this was a race thing.
Why do you? What makes you say that?
He's not the first player we've seen teams hire to try to get a ring. Like, it's not the first.
Mm-hmm.
So, are there better coaches? Yeah, I'm sure there are. But to make it primarily a race thing, I just can't see that really playing a role, especially with an organization like the Nets, where, they're trying to build, ever since they stepped on the scene, they've been trying to build a foundation and trying to build, get their foot in into being taken more as a serious NBA team. It's not like we're talking about the Knicks, who have a history of doing dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? And things obviously being, like, race obviously playing a role in some decisions. I just don't see this as a race issue, and I feel like people are only making a big deal about it because Stephen A. won't stop talking about it. But I don't know. I didn't look that deep into it because it just didn't seem like a racial thing to me.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna hang on it. I'm not gonna hang on that part of it because I do agree with you. What I will add to that is I think what happened more than anything is that the way the news was presented. So what I mean by that is typically when a team is looking for a coach, you get news that so-and-so is looking for a head coaching position. They're looking at candidate A, candidate B, candidate C.
Yeah.
Then you may get news about so-and-so has shown interest in job. So-and-so has shown interest in coaching. So-and-so has shown interest or has interviewed for the job.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of essentially seeing the steps that went into them ultimately becoming a coach. With this news came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, you woke up, Steve Nash hired as coach. So
it was random
because people did not see the previous. They were not privy to the previous steps. The first thing in their brain, they just assume that, or not assume, but it just gives the impression that Steve Nash woke up and said, "Yo, let me get a job," and they was like, "Bet, you want to coach?" So,
yeah.
I think what other factors that people have to consider or should consider is that he was an assistant coach with the Warriors when Kevin Durant was there.
Yeah, he was.
Which I think is probably the bigger part.
And I think that's being overlooked too.
That is probably the biggest component. So because I do think that a head coaching decision was run by Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving.
Of course.
And if you think that they had no say-so in that decision, I think You're just wanting to hang this all on white privilege and not looking at all the variables of this. So what I do think this is more of a star privilege. When your name is Kevin Durant, arguably the best player in the world when healthy, you're gonna have a say so on who gets coached for you.
Right.
So I think it's more of a star privilege than a white privilege. There's not too many people who can pick their coaches. Kevin Durant is one of those people.
Yeah.
If not pick, they'll get his opinion on it. They'll definitely ask his opinion. So I want to move on from that because, like I said, I think we both are on the same page as far as the privilege part. What I do want to ask is, what do you think about? I don't think there's many coaches who can handle superstars.
Yeah.
Do you think Steve Nash can handle, maybe not so much Kevin Durant? I'm actually looking more like Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, I think KD, he knows how good he is, but he isn't arrogant enough to reject help. But Kyrie, yeah, that's gonna be interesting because they're both, especially the fact that they're both point guards. They're both point guards. One has a ring, one doesn't. That's a big thing. And you know Kyrie's going to say something. If they have a situation, you know it's going to come up. So I don't know. And Steve Nash doesn't cross me as the type where, you know, he seems like a peaceful dude, if that makes sense. Now, I don't know how he is coaching. For all we know, when he starts coaching, he could turn out he's just batshit crazy, and he just wants the best, which is fine. But I don't know. That's gonna be an interesting little dynamic to watch.
I think he will garner the respect of the younger players. I think this is gonna weigh primarily on how Kevin Durant sees him. So, and I think Kevin Durant, like I said, their relationship while Durant was with the Warriors, I do think they have a good rapport with each other, and I do think Durant is coachable. Where I have some concerns is Kyrie, and I like Kyrie a lot, but I look at the Boston situation, and Boston played a lot better when he was hurt, and I don't know if Kyrie's, especially with a basically an inexperienced coach, you know, Kyrie is a little bit different. I don't think he gives a damn that it's Steve Nash. I think he respects Steve Nash as just like his resume as a player. But as a coach, I think he'll look at him a little differently. So I don't know if he'll garner that same type of respect and means of being coachable. The other concern I have is both of these guys are coming off an injury. We don't really know. We all just are going to assume that Kevin Durant's going to go back to the way he was playing. But he had an Achilles injury. And
most players don't come back from that.
We just don't know. Kyrie had the shoulder? And, you know, we are assuming these guys are going to be healthy. What happens if something happens and they're not healthy? And he has to coach the younger guys. And, you know, it's easy to coach when you have the talent. I mean, look what happened when Steve Kerr, when he went out that one year with the Warriors, and Luke Walton was like 31-2 with that team that was already like basically together. Luke Walton had to do shit. Just show up on the bench with a suit.
Yeah. So
I think that it's going to be interesting to see how he deals with these types of these. Because like I said, Durant and Kyrie are tremendous ball players. I think he's coachable, but his personality too is still like sometimes it's off-putting. And again, these are superstars that superstar egos are a big thing. And very few coaches, let alone first-year coaches, that's a tough order for him to have. Which is I'm actually more concerned about that more so than this whole idea that, you know, white privilege and all this other stuff. You know, which I think we got to be careful with too. Like we look, I do think there are definitely situations where a white individual may receive preference in a situation over a person of color. But again, we have to look at all of the factors. And there's been, because we have examples of black players with no experience, or black former players with no experience getting head coaching jobs.
Yeah.
Like we have that's on record. That's on tape. So we can't look at every time something happens with a white person, we got to try to make it
about race.
Fit a race dynamic.
Yeah.
Because that does dilute situations where there is a valid, like, no bones about it, racial dynamic. So it's like, quote unquote, how they say, playing the race card. That's just something we got to be careful with, and we have to be a little bit more. We have to analyze the situation in its entirety before we just automatically just run to something that we want it to fit. Because when you decide that something is white privilege, you're gonna try to make everything else around you fit that narrative, as opposed to look at all the factors first and then come to the conclusion, instead of coming to the conclusion first and then trying to make all the factors fit that. Because then you start making stuff something that it isn't. I don't think this is a racial situation at all. I don't think it's a white privilege situation.
And also, like, look who we're talking about. We're talking about Steve Nash.
And again, it's more so, like I said, we have seen a pattern of players who get coaching jobs with no experience.
Yeah.
We've seen it with Derek Fisher. We've seen it with Steve Kerr. Well, Steve Kerr, I think he had front office experience. Mark Jackson. So it's like Doc Rivers. We've
seen it.
Exactly. We've seen it. So.
Yeah, I think it's kind of unfair to put this on Steve Nash.
Yeah.
And I hope this isn't one of those things that drags into the next season, because I don't want that affecting his psyche, which it probably won't. But people like to hang shit over people's heads.
Look, man, there's still jobs out there. I think there's the New Orleans. They're still looking for a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Hell. If Milwaukee gets beat, they may be looking for another coach too. If they get swept by the Heat, Budenholzer might be out of there.
No, he's definitely out of there.
So I mean, look, it's a revolving door in the NBA. Somebody unfortunately is gonna lose it. They're gonna lose their job, and there'll be another one available. So, like I said, just be careful with just trying to run to the race shit out the gate, instead of just analyzing it. So that's all I got about that situation. Where do you think I guess one more question. You think the Nets, how many games you predict they win next year?
If there's a full NBA season?
If there's a full season, and if Durant and Kyrie stay healthy.
Do they still got LeVert next year?
Not sure off the top of my head. Would you say more or less than 50? Oh no, more or less than 55.
More if they click, less if there's.
Ooh, that's not an answer. That's
so you just want a solid answer?
Just a guess. No one knows. We're saying just.
I got them winning less.
Okay.
What about you?
Less. I thought maybe 50 may have been too. Cause I do think they can probably win 50, because I'm gonna say this: the East, there's not really a solidified team in the East,
mm-hmm.
and this playoff is kind of showing that. You got the Celtics and Raptors series, which is a good series. You got the Bucks folding up, and I knew the Heat were dangerous, but I thought they was maybe a year away, and they about to send Milwaukee home.
Yeah.
So I don't know that like I said, there's no really dominant team in the East. And look, Kevin Durant is, to me, he's when he's healthy, at this point in his career, I still think he's top 3 player in the league. You know what I mean? And we have a bunch of teams that, again, aren't quite solidified in terms of Well, let me rephrase that, because I think maybe regular season regular season they probably do well, but the playoffs is a little different. So let me think about that again. I would say less than 50 they will win because I think the gel component does make a difference. So those other teams, I'm thinking like in the playoff. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
All right. Well, who's I don't know, Coach John Thompson. Up.
It's okay. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So last week I think right when we were recording, or maybe shortly after we left, John Thompson, who was the Georgetown Hoyas head coach, legendary coach. He's coached Patrick Ewing, Lonzo Mourning, Allen Iverson. Legendary coach, first black coach to win a national championship. He passed away last week, Sunday. We recorded Sundays, but like I said, I think we may have been heading out when we got the news of it. So we did. I just wanted to include that because, again, he's a legendary coach and just a great leader of men. So we want to just pay our respects. Rest in peace, John Thompson.
Rest in peace.
One of the coolest things I've ever seen is Allen Iverson tell a story at his Hall of Fame speech, basically about when he was in high school. He was recruited for football and basketball.
Right.
And then there was a situation that happened, and basically all those offers went off the table. His mom went down to Georgetown and basically begged John Thompson to take Iverson on, which he did, and the rest is history. And he credits John Thompson with quote unquote saving his life. So, it's one of the few Hall of Fame speeches that I've cried for a player. It's a great speech too. But we'll get into the speeches another day. But rest in peace, John Thompson.
Absolutely.
And anything else we got?
That's it, man. I ain't got no questions. I already asked my question for the week. So
all right. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up. And once again, listeners, we appreciate you tuning in. If you check the description, if you're watching on YouTube or if you're listening on Spotify, if you check our descriptions, we have a link at the bottom. You can find us on all social media platforms and all DSPs. And final words for the week. No, that ain't it.
Sorry. Be safe out there. It's a holiday weekend, so please don't drink and drive. Be smart. Be safe. Look both ways when crossing the streets. Look both ways before you switch lanes. Enjoy your weekend. Don't spend your Labor Day alone. Unless you have to. If you ain't got nobody, I know everybody doesn't have that privilege, but if you have that privilege of knowing people, please do not spend it alone. Because it is beautiful outside, even though it's supposed to be really fucking hot. And, yeah, be safe.
All right. I don't have much else to add. Everyone have a good week. Once again, we thank you all for listening and checking in with us. And this is Zay and Jay signing off. And y'all have a good week.
All right.
Peace.